Okay, so we've got all of our ground beef mixed in with our spaghetti sauce that we worked on. And a little cooking tip. If your spaghetti sauce is too bitter, add a little sugar to it. It will help balance it. And we're going to use a spatula later when we're starting to layer our lasagna. So, in here we have our ricotta cheese, cottage cheese, all of our seasoning, our eggs, our chopped onions, and our seasonings, which was black pepper. I added a little bit of salt off camera, just regular white salt. I use seasoned salt, a little bit of seasoned salt in my spaghetti sauce. So like I said, salt is something that you really gotta be careful with. So what we're doing here, we're just mixing it all up, get a nice even blend of our cheese topping. I don't know if you see that, but man, this looks good. And it smells amazing. This really smells amazing. So what you can do is you can mix all this the night prior, stick it in the refrigerator, and use it when you're ready to put together your lasagna. But we're gonna do it all today, cook it and show you what the finished product looks like. Yeah, I just love cheese and lasagna. Cheese is bad for me. I'm supposed to be losing weight, but I'm just gaining weight. That's what happens when you have a household with people that love to cook. You just constantly gain weight if you're not careful about watching what you eat. This is our cheese mixture. It's almost done mixing. All right, so we got a couple more seconds of blending this all together, mixing it all together. Make sure that your eggs are completely blended in here. Stir it in, because the eggs is a combining agent to keep your lasagna from falling apart. Sometimes more eggs the better, so we use 5 eggs. That should be good enough. I never really had lasagna fall apart on me. I think we're gonna be good. Oh man, this smells so good. I wish I could eat this right now because it smells so good. So if you're still sticking with me, hey, please hit that like button and the subscribe button and the bell notification icon so that you can be notified whenever Wells Family Journey makes more videos. So I'm Damien, just a little bit of the Wells Family Journey. It seems like nobody else ever wants to be on the camera when I'm starting to record. So you're always going to see my ugly face. But yeah, so hit that like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. So my cheese mixture is all mixed up, and let's get ready to put our lasagna together. Okay, so here we got our pan. This is a very long pan because, like I said earlier, my family loves lasagna, and probably about half of this is going to be gone before the end of the day. So normally you'll be using a regular glass baking dish. So we got our sauce ready, we have our cheese mixture, and we have our lasagna noodles over here. I don't like to soften my lasagna noodles before I bake them. A lot of people like to soak their lasagna noodles before they add to the lasagna and start layering it. Me, I don't like doing that. So we're gonna get our spaghetti sauce mixture. And we're going to give a nice light coating of spaghetti sauce at the bottom of your meat mixture. And boy, added more meat to this, and I decided to just leave it kind of chunky instead of doing it the smooth, round way. And oh my God, man, this thing came out good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a little bit more water to this because it's kind of thick, and I just want to stretch it out just a little bit more, just to get a good amount and make sure we have plenty to finish this recipe. Stick with me. Okay, welcome back. So I did add a little bit more water to my spaghetti sauce, lasagna sauce, and I'm continuing. Now you can layer your lasagna, go sauce, noodle, cheese, noodle, sauce, or however you want to layer it. Me personally, like I said, I've done it 1,000 times. The quickest and easiest way that I like to do it, because for me, in my own kitchen, my own house, it's not about look. It's about how it tastes in the end product. So I like to add the cheese and the meat mixture together in the pan, and then just add my tomato sauce on top. Got my bottom layer done, adding my noodles. Like I said, I use dry noodles. I don't soften my noodles before I layer my noodle. We're just layering the noodles, getting that bottom layer going. We got the first layer done. I'm going to show you how that looks. If you can't see it, that's the first actual layer. So then what we're going to do is the exact same thing. We're just going to keep on repeating it until it's almost to the top, so it doesn't boil over. But the thing is, you got to cover all your noodles. If this is a dry method, you have to cover all your noodles with sauce and or cheese, or else you will get hard noodles. So if you're still with us, let me know. What is your favorite Italian dish? Like I said, mine is lasagna. God, I can't wait till this gets done. I'm so hungry. Mixing it around. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Everybody loves cheese. Almost everybody does. This is amazing. I'm gonna show you how this looks here in a second. But if you're going for a look, just layer each one separately. There you go. So that's how that looks. And my next layer, what I like to do is I like to rotate the directions I layer it every time I layer it. I just think it holds things better a little. That's why I do it. It's all up to you. Once you're in the kitchen long enough, you find tricks and different ways to make things work for you. And always, when you're in the kitchen, constantly wash your hands. Nobody likes a dirty cook. So wash your hands, sanitize your hands, and get back to cooking. And if you're not using your straight hands and you got gloves on, change your gloves. Sanitation is the key in the kitchens. You have to be clean when you're cooking. People get sick and that's not good. If your food makes someone sick, or your food doesn't taste good, or doesn't have enough flavor to make it taste good, nobody wants to eat your food. So always use gloves, season your food. If you think you have enough seasoning, add a little bit more. Can't go wrong with flavor. Flavor is king. Just doing it again, and we're just gonna keep on doing this until you're completely to the top. And when you're at the very top of your lasagna, you're gonna add a thin layer of sauce, cover it up, and get it in the oven. Okay, so we have all of our layers to our lasagna in here. I had made just enough sauce, spaghetti sauce for this one pan. But like I said, this is a big pan that I decided to cook this thing in. So it used all of it. So we're not making a separate lasagna, but this is basically two lasagnas. So you can get about a good 50 servings out of this if you cut it right. Then what I do is I cover it with saran wrap. So I cover it with saran wrap, and then I'm going to cover it with tin foil. I preheated my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and then we're going to cook it for a good hour to hour 15 minutes. This is a big pan, so I'm gonna go for an hour 15 minutes. And I'm going to check it, uncover it completely, and I'm probably going to stick it back in the oven for about another 10-15 minutes. And then I'm going to add my top layer of shredded cheese. 10 minutes so that cheese can melt. And I'm going to leave it on the counter for about another 10 to 20 minutes. Let it sit. Then I'm going to cut it, and then we're going to eat. So I got this covered with tin foil and saran wrap. I'm going to stick it in the oven. But before I do that, I'm going to use a pan. I'm going to put this on top of a sheet pan just in case it overflows. I do not want to make a mess inside the oven. So I'm going to cook it on top of a sheet pan. So if it does overflow with the sauce and cheese, it goes on a sheet pan and not in the bottom of your oven. That is a mess to clean. So we're going to stick this in the oven, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and cook it for about an hour to hour and 15 minutes. And then we're going to check it. All right, so we got our lasagna inside the oven. It's cooking. It's going to be cooking for about an hour, 15 minutes. So what goes good with lasagna and spaghetti? Garlic bread. So I got me some bread here. It's about to expire. I bought it. I was going to make some French toast. Now, how I like to make my garlic bread, I like to use Parmesan cheese on top of my garlic bread, but we don't have any Parmesan cheese in the house, so we're just going to go with what we got. So I'm going to use some French toast bread. It's thicker bread than normal. For you that don't know what French toast bread is, Or you could just use hamburger bun, hot dog buns, white bread, wheat bread, whatever you have in your house. But we're going to use French toast bread. So I got my shed spread. I love shed spread. And we're going to butter one side of the bread. So that's how we're going to do it. So we got one side of the bread generously buttered. And we're just going to put it on our sheet pan. We're going to continue on doing that. Okay, so I got all the bread that I'm going to use for tonight's dinner meal. This is our Texas toast. All I did was generously butter it. All right, so we got our bread here going. Add a generous amount of granulated garlic. Use granulated garlic. Don't use garlic powder or garlic salt. I do not advise using that. Now, if you use powder or salt, I guess you could use that and blend it in with your butter. But I don't know. I like granulated garlic. So we're going to add a generous amount to each slice of toast using the shaker part of the cap. Because you don't want to overpower your garlic toast. That is nasty. I've had garlic toast before that had so much garlic flavoring on it, I couldn't eat it. And I love garlic. And I like to do mine one by one. So I like to see that I got garlic flavoring on it and not just assume that each one has garlic on it. Excuse me, piece of bread. Oh my God, I can't talk today. And as soon as the lasagna is almost done cooking, actually what I'm going to do this time is while it's sitting on the counter soaking up whatever liquid did not get soaked up in cooking, I'm going to add my garlic bread into the oven then. So give it about 10 minutes on 350 degrees. Should be good enough. Check it. It all depends on how crunchy and how brown you like your garlic toast. And I'm going to add some parsley flakes for color, for look. What I really like to do with my garlic toast is once I put down the butter and the garlic on my bread, then I like to add my granulated Parmesan cheese on top. And then I top it with some parsley flake. But I don't have any Parmesan cheese that I can find in my house, which is odd because we usually always have it. Maybe it's inside the refrigerator and I haven't looked for it, but it's gonna be okay because this is gonna be amazing any which way. You can't go wrong. Some people like to cut theirs in triangles, and some people like to leave them whole. Me, I'm gonna leave this whole because we're just gonna eat all of it any which way. So there you go. Quick and easy garlic toast, garlic bread for your lasagna and or spaghetti. All right, so we have added our top layer of cheese. Stuck it back in the oven, let it cheese melt and cook a little bit more. Sit on the counter for about 10-15 minutes. All the juice and liquid soak up into the noodles. And we did a pre-cut on everything. So let's try and lift it up, see how well it did and cooked. So I think this was about 3 layers on here. Hopefully I can get it out the pan. Oh yeah, it came out pretty good. Oh, look at that cheese. All right. So that came out pretty good. Like I said, when I was layering it, I was not cooking it for it to look good, but I was doing it for taste. That, to me, that looks good. Smells great. Get some garlic bread put on top of that. That looks pretty darn good. All right. So, thanks for sticking with me in my first cooking video for Wells Family Journey. Who knows? Maybe more of these videos are going to come along. But for right now, thanks for sticking with me while I do the lasagna. As always, be kind to each and every one, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.